What you see on the screen is what this player had to say. I just want to know what the H I am doing wrong. I am playing at 110% focus, using comms, being kind, trying new things, and for some reason my rank has only gone down in the last week. All I want is diamond. All my games are like this. That statement was from the person that we're about to review. If you'd like your game reviewed, check the pinned comment down below and it's going to tell you how to get your game reviewed. We're going to be looking at a Rocket Raccoon Plat.3 game. Now what you explained to me seems like signs of inconsistency. Should you have gotten to diamond 3 times? What you're explaining right now, the problem just seems like inconsistency. It actually doesn't mean you're bad or someone else is bad or anything like that. It's just inconsistency. All right, so pretty much we're just going to play the match and we're going to see where we can improve. I'm not going to nitpick on every little itsy bitsy thing because it doesn't matter. We're just going to play the game, play it and see kind of what happens. So we're doing our thing, and we'll rewind it after the first team fight. So we're going in, we're getting really aggressive. Holy, do you usually play the character like this? This is insanely aggressive. Wait a second. Wait a second. Jesus. Let's go back real quick. My Lord, dude. You said that guy stole your lunch money. Okay.
30 seconds before you
Good Lordy. All right, let's, good Jesus. That was violent. All right, so picking it up from the top. First things first is that we are using abilities when we don't need to. On Convoy, using it repeatedly is more understandable. But even in Convoy, if you can time when you use these totems, you're going to have a lot more impact on games as Rocket Raccoon. So there's 2 types of phases that we talked about before in other videos. We have pre-fight phase and we have team fight phase. Pre-fight phase is where you're like doing a lot of poke, you're throwing out abilities, blah, 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 blah. You're not really looking for kills, but should you get one, it's going to be really good. This then leads into the team fight. This is where people are actually fighting and we're looking to fight to the last man standing. What's more impactful, bringing someone back before the team fight or bringing someone back during the team fight? If our Spider-Man flies in, dies, and he comes back, we're at the same even playing field. There's no disadvantage. But should our Spider-Man go in, get 3 people low, die, come back, and we're repeating that same thing, that's a big, big difference. So really mind when you're using your abilities when you're playing Rocket. It's not just about throwing things out and just being carried every single game. Like literally, this dude has a lot more impact, and because his abilities do so much, you need to time them better. You know what I mean? That's how you play Rocket, and that's how you play it effectively. Timing what you use. This includes the infinite ammo. All right, so continuing forward, we notice that you use step forward. Now, this is going to kind of be hypothetical. Well, not even hypothetical, but it's going to be, you'll see what I mean. So the way that you want to position is you want to generally have the tank, then you want to have the DPS, then you want to have the support. Like generally speaking, if we could pull this off, you want it to be like this. Sometimes you're going to have the support over here, maybe a little bit in the middle. You know, it varies where they're going to be. But for the most part, you want to have it so that you are in the back. Why do you want to be in the back? This is not a Holy Trinity MMO Final Fantasy game. It is not. Why do you want to be in the back as a support? As much as possible. So you can see everything. This isn't so you have to turn around and heal. It's not even about that. It's so you can see everything. How much more information do I get if I'm here with the guy with the Punisher, like the guy that's actually doing damage? Like how much more information do I get from here than I get if I'm up here? I'd have to turn around. I also noticed that there are 3 supports. I'm gonna get this out the way right now. There has been a thing, and when I climb with all 3 accounts, which you've seen if you've seen my series, there is something going around where they're saying you need 3 healers. Bro, don't do that. If you want to grief your games, do that, but don't do that. Here's the reason. Like, the thing about meta, especially something as funky as that, is that players that do this are high tier ranking players. Usually when lower ranked players figure this out, it's because higher tier players do it first, a streamer, their YouTuber, and then you find out and you're like, oh, I gotta do it too. The problem is They play at a different level entirely. It's not even close to the same game that you guys are playing. Why would you be able to translate what they're doing up there to your games? Doesn't work like that. Now, I'm not specifically singling you out. I'm just saying in general, what exactly does having 3 healers do? Think of it this way. Is it better to have 2 tanks, 3 DPS, or 3 healers? What does having 2 tanks do? It allows for more survivability of your front line. More pressure, more space. What does having 3 DPS do? It provides more damage, allows for quicker fights, more picks, ways to snowball the game easier. What does having 3 healers do? I'll give you a second to think about this. What does 3 healers do? It allows you to sustain and prolong a team fight. Why is this a problem? Players in this ELO, well, I'll say rank, I'm sorry. ELO means rank. I just come from other games and we use ELO. But players in this rank don't know how to team fight. Players in Grandmaster don't know how to team fight. Not saying they're bad at it, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that people still make mistakes. But they are actually really, really good players. You're in a rank where people always make mistakes. You're in a rank where people aren't really that great, quote unquote. You know, you're still platinum. It's a good thing. I'm not saying you guys suck or anything, but there's a massive skill gap from platinum and grandmaster. Massive. If you're in a rank where people can't even team fight properly, you're basically saying, let's make the team fight last longer, and you guys have no clue what you're doing. Instead of giving them 10 seconds to win the team fight, you're giving them 30 seconds. How many more mistakes can happen with 20 extra seconds? Don't do the 3 support thing. Unless you are a pre-made, or the 3rd support is Loki. That's the only way that I see that it can work. If a 3rd support's Loki, because he literally can turn into different characters, therefore he's not really a support, and he can play as a DPS anyway, and the added heals that he does is kind of like, it's an additional cool effect, but he still actually does damage. He still can turn a fight. Stick to 2 supports if you can. It will benefit you way more. And the only reason why I brought that up is because I see a lot of people lose games because of this. A lot of people lose games because of this, because they look at higher ranked players and they think they can do what they do. You can't. Okay, if you're a race car driver, if you see a professional race car driver, NASCAR, and you're like, bro, I got skills, I can do what he does, you'll crash. You don't have the experience, you don't have the training, you don't have the knowledge, you'll crash. This is what happens in your games. You're crashing because you're trying to do something you're not prepared for. You know what I mean? So, again, not an attack on you. This is just in general for anyone who decides to do that thing, especially in a solo match, if you do that. So, moving forward. This is why we want to sit further back. Getting back on track. No, we were talking about positioning. This is why we want to position and sit and get back on in the back, right? Because it allows us to see more. It allows us to identify threats. It allows us to heal our team. What you're trying to do when you want to heal Venom when he goes in, you can do from here. Just sit next to the Punisher, and when you fire it, bounce it off this wall. It'll go straight to Venom. Now, I think this pillar is glitched. It's not technically raised right now. So even more so, it would go to Venom and you don't even have to be in sightline. This is why Rocket is good, because he doesn't have to be in sightline. So keep going. Right, turn around, do what we do. Now, right here, you're going in. Again, I'm pretty sure this is glitched because... yeah, it's definitely glitched. This is where the fight is happening. This is some new stuff. I've never seen this. So this is where the fight is happening. So you're running in while your team is helping you. But why are we running in though? What do we accomplish by being this close? Not only does it make it so you're focused on damage, which you shouldn't be, especially with Rocket. He doesn't. Anybody who thinks that Rocket does a ton of damage, I'm gonna burst the bubble right now. Rocket does not do a lot of damage. It seems like it if he's up close and if he gets all headshots. But damage is not his primary focus because it's difficult to replicate that damage consistently. Okay? Think about it as Cloak and Dagger. Their damage is consistent. It's done the same way, it is very hard to miss. His damage is not consistent. There's fall off damage, you have to aim for the head. There's a lot wrong with the situation here. Now, if you do ult, then that's a different story. 30% bonus 30% bonus damage. But aside from that, That's not what you should be aiming for. You need to be focusing on healing first with Rocket. And then when you have enough time to go back and start shooting people, do so. So our whole team just wipes. It was just a failure on positioning and just a failure on fighting in general. Like, that was just a bad fight. Not really much to say other than it was just a bad fight. Okay, just kind of doing our thing, trying to get back into it. This is more of a team fight, so yeah, putting that be right back down is perfectly fine. The totem. You put down the infinite ammo, okay? It's fine. When you put this down, try to think about the zone that it's going to be. And instead of putting it down directly on the people, put it like wherever you want them to go. So as an example, if we're pushing forward, we're going to put this a little bit forward so that this back of the circle, the half circle, is on him. And as he progresses forward, he still has the full circle to go to. In this scenario, we're kind of getting pushed in. So you might want to put it a little bit back so that the half circle is more here, so that if he needs to walk back, he has more room to play and more wiggle room to play. So that's just a little side thing when it comes to playing Rocket. As I said, use your abilities as well as possible, because stuff like that happens. I don't really know where he went. Oh, did he do what I said he did? Yeah, see, he's having to back up. Should he have to back up more? He's out of the circle. But I noticed a lot of Winter Soldiers and Punishers, even if they are high rank, generally try to stay in, which means their positioning is poor if you put it in a bad spot, forcing them to be in kill threat of the enemy team. It's about what you can do for your team, not what you can do for yourself. So, anyway, I keep going to the wrong people. What is going on here? There we go. All right, so we're doing our thing, still positioning wise. You see that we're too deep. Just don't be that deep. Same thing with the ult. We could have put the ult further, so that way when our team goes forward, they have more ult to deal with. Same concept with the ammo. Same concept. Placement. All right. Okay. So here, we're just looking to fight for no reason. You're not a damage character, right? You're not a DPS. This dude would live if you just focus on healing. But instead, we were focusing on fighting the Panther. Like right here, focus on healing everybody. And this is also why we position back here. It's so that we don't get singled out. And it's also so that we don't have to worry about fighting anybody that comes up, right? If this guy's in this position, get ready to jump and throw spears and stuff, and you're here, he's gonna have to turn this corner. He could possibly do that, but then you can just run to your team. But because you're clumped up, should he go, because you're clumped up, should he go for you and you're gone, he's gonna go for her next. He's gonna go for him next. And it's like, this could have been avoided and you could have been keeping everybody topped up as he was trying to just go crazy. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going. You see how we're trying to fight instead of, if we were never there, we wouldn't even have to worry about fighting and we wouldn't have to worry about running away. We could use this time to heal. Rocket has two ways of not healing his team. The first way is going to be, one, I run away, right? I'm running away. Oh my God, quit chasing me. I'm up walls. The second way, okay, same word or same letter, reload. This could take however many seconds someone decides to chase you, and this will take about 2 to 3 seconds. So if you do that 2 to 3 seconds, and you put that Black Panther, somebody who can insta-kill in 2 or 3 seconds, that's all he needs. Really be thinking about this. This is what's causing games to be harder than what they need to be. That guy would have been alive right now. Same thing, just kind of too much movement. You don't really need to do all of this. I'm gonna assume you're not a support player, because this doesn't really seem like support gameplay. But also, we're not positioning like a DPS either. What do you mean? I'm genuinely curious. Okay, so when I say positioning, you're in a spot where like you can get shot by everybody. You're Rocket. With Rocket, he can go into a lot of different spots and like be able to aim. You could do something like this. Sit up here and then aim forward. This whole wall is protecting you. Okay? There's other ways that you can do this. You can even sit over here. You don't need to be on your team. Sit over here. sit here. When they walk forward, shoot them. And then just run back to your team. There's just a lot of things you can be doing, a lot of angles you could be taking, especially because there's 3 DPS. You know, it's kind of good that you play more damage than heal.
You're welcome.
Again, the main issue that I see right now is just straight up positioning and straight up line of sight. The way that you're playing is making it so it's very, very difficult for you to see. If we're here, we can see the enemy, we can see our team. As an example, obviously you're not going to be here at this, you know, you're not here right now, but just like, think about it. You can see their team, and should you need to heal, you can shoot through this little crevice, it'll bounce off the wall, and it'll heal your team. Sightlines, you can see everybody, the whole situation. This is why you don't want to be so close, because you're having to turn around, you're not really sure where everybody is, enemy included. There's a lot of information you're missing out because you're so in there, and you don't need to be. You can also be healing multiple people should you be in different spots. Imagine if you were here, well, you heal Iron Man while he's low, and then it goes through Iron Man and heals your other teammate. You can heal multiple people at once. See what happens when you can't see the whole situation? This dude just died when you could possibly help them. Let's look at the situation from another angle. Like, let's just say we were back here, right? Maybe you wanted to sit here. This is a weird spot, don't get me wrong. But maybe you just wanted to sit here, like on this. We played the same thing, right? You technically don't need to be shooting, laying down fire. You could still see him. I, like I said, would be sitting more over here. It gives you a lot more visual, in my opinion, and then you could have just healed that guy from right there. Maybe you're on comms. That's why your gameplay is so sporadic and all over the place. Like, that's the only thing I can really see. Again, just really, really close. Like, what you're doing is very risky, and should you get punished, it's up to the air, basically. Okay, you put the circle down and you put the ult down. Same concept. I'm not gonna harp on this too much though, but same concept. You see how far it is? You could have put the ult closer. You could have put this back so he can walk back and still be in the thing. You know what I mean? Okay, keep going. I said I wasn't gonna nitpick a lot, but this is like all important stuff. It's not just like random stuff. Okay. Pretty much same thing. We're kind of in pre-fight now, not real fight. And should you bring them back, you should probably bring them back a little bit closer and not so far back where they have to re-engage should a real fights take place. Just a little too close once again. Space yourself, way too close. Like, as a support, your camera should not be moving that much, in my opinion. Like, your camera should be moving, but it's 360 quite a bit, and I feel like that's a lot. Like, I feel like it's a lot of movement. I don't know if you play Rocket. That might be it. Don't play characters you don't know how to play. If you want to get to Diamond, play what you know. Based off what I'm seeing, I'm not sure you play Rocket, or maybe you just don't think about all the cool stuff you can do with the character. Those are the only two things I could be thinking. Again, never be looking up. You could just bounce it off the wall. Don't need to get close. There's just a lot of movement for no reason. Like, your job as Rocket is to just be like all the other supports. Assist your team how you can. Like, you're looking for kills more than healing your team. A lot of what you're doing isn't really for the benefit of the team. It's more for your sake. And it doesn't really seem like the support mentality. And this could be why, if this is what you're continuing to play to get the diamond, this could be why your games are going kind of poor once you get to diamond. Because as you win games, you are going to end up playing against players that are better, which means if you don't improve along with your climb, you'll start going back down to where you belong. This is how the ladder works. It's not you being unlucky, it's just you're not ready. You know what I mean? So hopefully by the end of this, we will be ready and you will reach that diamond and break on through. As I said, I'm not 100% sure you play Rocket. If you do, get more creative with how you play. If you don't, play what you know how to play. That's gonna help you way more, and you're gonna see a drastic difference. Before moving into the next round, if you're enjoying the content, if you're learning a lot, consider becoming a member. Not only does it help the channel and help me produce the content that I make, such as the free reviews and all that extra good stuff, but you also get perks as well. There's going to be more perks added, especially Marvel Rivals related. So if you're interested in Marvel Rivals, or as I said before, you just want to help support the channel so I can keep the content rolling out for you guys, consider becoming a member. It really does help. And for those of you that are already a member, I really appreciate it. And for those of you watching, make sure you thank them as well, because this wouldn't be happening without those members. All right, moving into the next round. I just realized, I assume that you're probably playing Rocket for the Winter Soldier and the Punisher. Well, he's not playing Punisher anymore. Oh, the guy swapped to Loki this time. So yeah, this is where 3 healers is more beneficial. Oh, wrong team, Jesus. Okay, the guy did swap from Winter Soldier, but the guy is still playing the Punisher. But we have 2 supports instead of 3 now. Makes sense. Just again, too close. Doesn't really make much sense for us to be so close when Rocket has such a large range. When you're shooting, all right, we're gonna talk about something called target priority. When you're shooting, you wanna make sure that you have target priority, and you wanna make sure that whatever you're shooting at makes sense. Now, when we were on the other map, I did see you shoot the squids, so you do understand, like, should these things spawn? Shoot them, we got it. But like, who are we shooting in a situation like this? In a scenario like this, who's probably the best target for us to shoot? Let's go back to your camera angle. All right, who's probably the best target for us to shoot? Is it better for us to shoot, or is it better for us to heal? In my opinion, it's better for us to heal, because that Venom is half HP, right? So we shouldn't really be minigunning right now. When you're choosing to reload at spots that it makes sense, even if you don't run out of shots. This is something that I actually notice a lot of players do, even in high ranks, is they don't reload. They just wait till they run out of ammo completely and then reload. If you reload prematurely, you are guaranteeing that your uptime is higher, right? So as an example, if we go back here and you chose this time to reload, this is guaranteeing that your uptime is higher. And obviously you don't need to, but I'm just saying. This would be a good spot, right? You're not really doing anything. You would reload here. So now you're ready to reload. Imagine you reloaded, you're back, you got a couple of extra shots here, and you wouldn't be reloaded. You have 8 shots actually. I believe it's 8. So now we're shooting, but for what? We should be healing. There's no reason to shoot, right? We're just popping damage off, but that doesn't really do anything for anybody. We're in a really rough spot now, though. We still keep shooting when we could be healing our team. There's just way too much focus on doing damage. You're not the carry when you're playing support. I've noticed that there might have been some videos that I've seen pop up in my feed about like how to carry as support. Just get the word carry out your mind. There's no carry on anything. Unless you're smurfing, you're better than everybody in your rank, you're not carrying a game. You are playing with your team and winning together. There's no such thing as carry, especially on support and tank. No, you might perform better than everybody else, but that doesn't mean you're carrying. Carrying means your team can suck and you can still win. That's what carrying means. So you're still healing, which is fine. That was a good dodge, dude. That was smooth. Very nice. Now go back. I better not see you. If I see you minigun, I'm closing this replay. You better heal and heal your life up. Why did you reload? Wait. Why did you reload there? It's funny because you do reload prematurely, but just at the wrong times. This reload should not have happened. You saved this guy. And you probably saved the Iron Man. Possibly. So you put the infinite ammo thing down when he comes in. I like that. You're aware. You know, you understood who was coming. You're starting to run away. Again, I like that. This is some smooth play. This is important. Very good. Nice. Keeping yourself like ready to heal. Good. Nothing wrong with that at all. You end up dying. I think that play was doomed once those 2 died, and I probably just would have left the situation entirely. But I see that you try to salvage it. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. It was a good try. For sure. Very good try. Not really much you can do about that. All right, you're coming back in. Okay, you're doing damage. Why? Because there's no reason to heal anybody right now. You're not gonna just look up and try to heal her. This is good. There's no reason to heal right now. Now he ults. I'd ignore this guy and go to your team. I honestly probably would have ignored him earlier and just went to my team in general so I can heal them. Especially because we know our other healer is right there, or that was right there. But I would ignore him. As soon as he ults, just dip and leave. Let's see if you ran over there before doing damage. Like, let's just say you've seen the Hulk coming in, dude's chasing your team, this guy's flying, she just escaped. So realistically, nobody's dying right now in the next few seconds. If you ran, just ran, and you made it here right now, this dude could heal. You didn't even have to be here. You could have bounced it off here. You could have just ran up, right, trying to, this camera's weird. Let me just use the keyboard. Okay, so, you could have just ran up right here and just fire, boom. Boom, ricocheting right there. Boom, 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 boom. As you move forward and healing at the same time. Instead, we waste our time hitting the Hulk. We waste our time just not really being in the proper position. And should our team lose this fight that's coming up, it's like whatever. You run past him now, but it's too late. It already hit the fan. You already lost the fight. The fight was already over. We get back up. It's okay, we still have a chance to win. Nice, just keep healing. Do not shoot. Just keep healing. Your team's already at a disadvantage. If you shoot, I'm uninstalling this game. Why are you shooting? Why are you shooting here? Look at that guy. Heal this guy. You can heal through there. Heal him. There you go. Don't need to be so close. You're just gonna get turned on. Be very careful. Situations like this. Again, why are we shooting? Like, if we go back, look who's alone. I get that you want to kill this guy, but this dude just dive bomb backline. Oh wait, so did your Hulk. Dude, they both did. You have a team behind you. They can deal with the Hulk. Just like scoot to the side and keep trying to keep these guys alive to keep that final push off for you guys. But we're spending so much time focusing on this guy instead of focusing on these guys that are trying to keep the game going and stalling out the game. It really wouldn't have helped in the grand scheme of things in that position just because the game was over. They weren't able to reach. But I think with this, the inconsistency comes with like, and obviously I mean this with due respect, I think there's just ego in your playstyle. Your playstyle isn't very team oriented. It's the I'm better than everybody and I should be winning my games. You might be doing good for you, but you might not be doing good for your team, right? Play selfless. Don't play selfish. Damage doesn't matter, even if you're playing another support like Cloak and Dagger. If you can heal, heal first. Because that matters more. Identify the threats. If there's a Black Panther, make sure that whenever he hops on somebody, you perma-heal. Because that person's going to die eventually. Right? Should you need to take sight lines, try to see more of the map so that you can not only identify where your teams are, where the threats are coming from, but you also have the ability to adjust your playstyle based off what you see. If I'm so deep in the fight, how am I going to reposition? This is why you're so chaotic and hectic with your gameplay. You're climbing up walls and do it. You don't have to if you played smarter, not harder. Just because you can click buttons and have mechanics doesn't make you a good player. It just means you can click buttons. This is why a lot of the good players that you might see on, not even with just this game, but this is why a lot of the good players that you might see on certain games aren't pros. There's way more to being a pro player than just clicking buttons or clicking heads. Understand the game. Understand that you need to be a team player and you will reach diamond 100%. But right now you're not getting there. It's just too much. It's too much ego. It's too much selfish gameplay. I'm not saying you personally have it, but your gameplay is speaking that value. The gameplay needs to adjust so it doesn't seem like that. I hope you enjoy this. If you've got any questions, let me know down in the comments below, of course. For those of you that also enjoyed this, just a brief reminder, consider becoming a member. Not only does it help the channel and me being able to do these free reviews and stuff like that, but you also get perks. And as I said, there will be more Marvel Rivals perks coming down the line. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You'll be first in line for a lot of stuff when it happens. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. If you want to get your game reviewed, check that pinned comment down below. And until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. Well often.